think we are good to go. Hopefully. Yes, we are. Good. Sweet. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. There we go. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. Yes, I am here. Well, not in the flesh, in the digital flesh, if you can call it that. Or whatever you want. Don't worry, I've not killed over or anything. I've just found a bit of time for once. It's just come back from my holidays, but they don't need to know that. So, yes, welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We are here for MaX5, the final round. It's only taken me over a year. But we are good to go. Let's get rid of that. There we go. We are here at Dragon Trail, and it is the gardens. And as you can see, looking down, it is very, very wet. And we know that a wet race is always good for the cards. So, what is the MaX5? I hear you may be asking. Well, the MaX5 is VRC's very own MX5 Championship. We've had 8 seasons of it. This is the last one for a while. They don't really do much to it. All it is there is high tire wear. There's a bit of strategy. It's been a while. I've forgotten all this intro in jazz. But we are here for the racing. There's another reason why it is live as well. It is because, unfortunately, the computer has decided it wants to retire. It is over 10 years old. I have dragged it on far longer than it needed to. It ran like a horse with one leg. And unfortunately, it's decided to give up, so it's lost a lot of, basically all of the fancy jazzy things I normally bring up for. So we're doing it old school style. I've even lost the table. So unfortunately, I can't bring you that either. And because I didn't do it in the last round, we have absolutely no idea. But we are here for the present. We are here to crown 3 new champions. The one thing I do remember is there is a pro. There is pro amateurs and there is the amateurs. We're going to get 3 champions and I will happily crown them. So for the MaX5, they've had a 10-minute qualifier. For the first race is going to be a sprint race, and then after that it is going to be a feature. I can't remember the tyres regulations, it's been so long ago, but I think they do have to use the hards at some point. Yes, that's it, they have to use the hards at one point. So, let us move on and see how we're done. So, after 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, or whatever the time was, this is the result. Yes, there is only 4 of them. Just because there's a lack of numbers does not mean there is going to be a lack of racing. But as we can see... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I've got to get used to this all over again. So at the front, we can see that Big Dan, he is the championship leader, the overall championship leader, and the leader of the Pro-Ams. He has stuck it on pole. In second for the pros, it is Homesick Alien. Is he going to be able to catch Guesty, who I believe is leading the pros championship? It's all going to be down to him. Then in third, it is Bazza. He's got quite a lot of catching up to do if he wants to take the Pro-Am championship, but I think it may be just out of his reach. But is he able to put a dent in it? Who will know? Big Dan has been absolutely rapid in these MaX5s. And then the only amateur to pro, that is a point as well. Homesick Alien's the only pro to turn up. So the only amateur to turn up tonight is Pat. So he's got to make up some points, I believe. I can't remember who is actually leading that championship for the amateurs, but Only time will tell. Unfortunately, the memory has forgotten, but let's get on with it, shall we? So they're going to be on the wet tyres. I've got to turn all this on. Look at how professional I am. Not. But here we go. Let's get the lights going in this very, very, very wet Croatian mountainside. And off we go. It's a sluggish start, but they've all got the traction controls on. And as we can see, Homesick Alien has actually managed to get off the line fairly well, with Big Dan coming down into second. Bazza remaining in third. No, Pat's managed to get into third. He's had a look on the inside. Was that Pat having a wiggle? I think it was. He's struggling with those wet tyres on. I'm wondering if they're all struggling with it. Bazza's managed to hold off in third. Homesick Alien taken off into the distance. Championship leader, Big Dan, has got to find some magic if he wants to come and pass the Alien. But as we know, the Alien is in a completely league of his own, but he's been struggling with these MaX5s. If he's... I can't remember where he is on the table. I think he is midpoint somewhere, but it's just not been his championship at all. And is it going to be one of those days for him? I wonder. It's extremely wet out there. You can see they're fighting for the grip, but Big Dan is not pulling out the pace I thought he would be. Mind you, he may think that he's got this all sewn and wrapped up, so it could be he's just taking it nice and easy so that he doesn't lose too many championship points. But to be fair, there's only 4 of them, so he must be looking at the gamble and wondering if it's going to pay off. But he could still lose some points. We don't know. Bazza's absolutely hounding him on the back end, so Big Dan not able to find the pace that he has been able to find all season. There we go. There's the back end kicking out. I wondered how long it would actually take, but he's managed to keep it going in the right direction. Pat as well. This is going to be absolutely great for his amateur championship. Is this going to be what seals the deal for him to come home with the amateurs championship? Bazza as well. I don't think he's in for it. I could be wrong. We never know. He's going to score some cracking points come at the end of this with only 4 of them. But now Big Dan on the hunt for an Alien who hasn't disappeared into the distance. The wet is clearly making life difficult for him. As we saw in Spa, he was really struggling to keep up with the rest of them, and Big Dan disappeared into the distance. I wonder if it was actually a fluke. Bazza's going sideways as well. He wants a bit of the sideways fun as well. See, Big Dan, anybody can do it. Maybe you're not the drift king after all. We've been watching the wrong person doing the drifting, maybe. He isn't sponsored by Wondernuts for nothing. Pat as well, still holding off in 4th. Ooh, there's a bit of a slide there. Keep it all together, Pat. Mind you, to be fair, even if he does finish last, going to get a lot of points. He's struggling to get the power down. You can see there is just absolutely no grip out there whatsoever. But now Big Dan is absolutely hounding Homesick Alien. He's obviously found where the grip is now. And it's just a case of how long is Homesick Alien going to be able to hold them off. I'll tell you what, let's do that. Look at it, absolutely throw it down. Unbelievable. I tell you what, I still don't understand why they don't put the roofs up, because it's going to be absolutely wet. As you can see, Homesick Alien, he's now struggling for the grip. It's Big Dan that's found it once again. So now he's going to be hounding Homesick Alien. And is this going to be a change of the lead? Big Dan going round onto the outside. Homesick Alien defending. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? It looks like it was Big Dan. But is he going to be able to keep the back end in order? Yes, he can. But he's unable to take advantage of the faster line. And Homesick Alien manages to hold off for one tiny corner. But is he going to be able to hold off for much longer? As we're going to come up to the long left-hander, which is proving to be quite difficult for these guys in these conditions. And it's holding off. They're holding off. They're doing well, and round they go. Wonderfully well. Bazza as well, still holding off in 3rd. Pat, obviously not taking the risk, but he's got literally nothing to lose at this rate. Homesick Alien still holding off that lead. As you can see, they're fighting it, but he must have not got a good exit, because here comes Big Dan. What a wonderful exit from there. And Big Dan has now taken the lead of this race. And if he wins this, this is pretty much guaranteed him the championship at this rate. But I do have to wonder what's going to happen in this case, because they were split down. Ooh, he's struggling to put the power down, and Jose Alien could not take advantage of it. But as I was saying earlier, Big Dan is the overall champion. Is there going to be a pros champion, I wonder? Because you'd have thought that the pros would be the ones that won it, but I think my guess is that they are actually going to crown them individually. But it looks like Big Dan is going to take the spoils of war. He'll be the overall champion and the Pro Amateurs champion. Who'd have seen that one coming? Whoa, he's holding on. He held on. Whoa. Wow, that was I bet that was a brown parts time, mate, was it? Good Lord. Jose Alien still managing to hold on to him. But you got to wonder, is Big Dan pushing too hard? I wonder, is the wet conditions proving too much for him? Who knows? But as there we go, he's struggling to put the power down. Jose Alien could not match him and able to take advantage of it. And Pat's managed to get Pat. What's happened to Bazza? What's happened to Bazza? He's down in fourth. He must have had a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Lost the back end. That'll do. That'll do. So Pat manages to move up into third, but they're back at the front. This is where the scrapping is. And Jose Alien cannot find a way past Big Dan. He's building up a defence that's longer than the wall of China at this rate. But he's going to need something even bigger than that, because at the rate that he's trying to put the power down and it's just kicking out on him, Jose Alien is definitely going to be taking advantage of it. But so far he's not been able to find the magic dial which helps him get the power down and overtake Big Dan. As we can see, we come out, Big Dan just floors it down. The back end doesn't agree, but he just kicks it back into play, and as we can see, he's got a bit of a gap now between himself and Jose Alien. Is Jose Alien dropping back, I wonder? And at this rate, I think Pat might be able to capture. Oh, he's just gone, mowed the grass a little bit, thought it was obviously a little bit too long, but I hope someone has informed him that you don't mow the grass when it's wet, because I've seen exactly what happens when you mow the grass when it's wet. That wasn't actually my fault before people start coming in and saying, why was you mowing the grass wet? It wasn't me. And I went absolutely skits on her when she did that, because she broke the lawnmower. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Actually, funny enough, do you know what she said to me? Well, you always mow the grass when it's wet. It keeps it clumped up together. Yeah. In the rotary blade, woman. That's why it broke. Big Dan now doing the fastest lap with a 1:54.9. So he's obviously starting to find some pace, but the track isn't drying out. So he's obviously finding his comfy pants now. He's lost Homesick Alien. He's got himself a bit of a comfortable gap. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's going to be enough just in case there is a little bit of a slip up regardless of each way. You can see they're just trying to put the power down. The traction control telling them no, that is not allowed. Very easy to find. So he's still going purple, so he's still finding the pace. And Big Dan absolutely showing them all how it's done in the wet. There we go, sideways round. That's how you do it, gents. Sticker sideways. Pat as well, he's also trying to do it as well, but he's just not able to do it enough. But so far it's going to pay off very, very well for him if he keeps this third place. I think it'll be his first podium in the MaX5 as well. Pity I haven't got a table to look and double check. Right laptop. Piece of shit. Bazza as well in fourth. He's not being able to close that gap, so he's trying his damn hardest, but it's just not working out for him. But he's still going to end up with a good chunk of points with the fourth, with the lack of drivers. Maybe they'd fancy coming out in the wet, I wonder. Do you know what would do it? Oh, that was big. That was Homesick Alien. It looks like he had a bit of a moment there. He was able to keep it recovered, but that's just cost him a lot of time. And now Big Dan can disappear into the distance. And it looks like it's going to be another win for Big Dan. We're coming up to the 10-minute mark, so another 5 minutes to go. And it looks like it's going to be another victory for the Big Dan himself. Homesick Alien still holding well in second. Patton's not caught up with him. I thought with that little slip up, he might have managed to decrease the gap. But unfortunately, the McLaren Mazda was not able to punish him for it. But he's still chasing him down. He's still trying his damn hardest. But I think he's going to be very, very happy with a third place. Bazza as well. He's not able to. He's got the fastest lap now, a 1:54.8. So Bazza's managed to find his. Oh, good lord! One of them. Is it flippers? That shoe wear that divers wear. I think they're flippers. I can't remember. I'm not a C person by any chance. I've forgotten what they're called. So there we go. That's probably why Big Dan is pushing so hard. He's going purples. He wants that fastest lap. He's not having Bazza have that. Nope, that is mine, sir. How dare you? Pushing that MaX5 as hard. MaX5. He's pushing that MX5 as hard as he can. He wants that fastest lap. He wants all the glory. He wants the clear sheet. He's got the pole. Looks like he's going to get the win. He also wants the fastest lap as well. We'll keep an eye on him for the time being. He was purple. Is he going to break it? It looks like he just... No, he can't. Oh, he wasn't far off. So off he goes again to try and break it. Homesick Alien unable to close the gap. We can see Pat just in the distance as well. We can see Bazza in the distance as well. Is he going to get another fastest lap? I wonder, because we saw he was going purples, and he can. Bazza doing a 1:54.4. Showing him it can be done, showing that he has got the pace even in the wet. And I tell you what, the wet is the absolute equaliser here. And it's absolutely glorious. See, we can make a race out of 4 people. Not an issue. But it looks like it's going the way of Big Dan. Maybe when the rain dissipates, the others will be able to come out. Maybe they didn't come out because they haven't got wetsuits or something. Didn't fancy getting wet. Like, come on, guys. What's the worst that can happen? You can have a cockpit full of water. I can hear the Charles Leclerc fans already. We're not adding it to the words of wisdom. It has already been done. I can imagine some of you are already thinking it. Homesick Alien trying his hardest. He is trying so hard. He's pushing that MX5 as hard as he can to try and decrease the gap between himself and Big Dan, but it looks like it's not going to be able to be done. So it looks like he'll have to settle for second unless Big Dan makes an absolute mare of a corner. It looks like this one is done and dusted. We're coming up to the final minute, so they are going to get another lap in. So Big Dan, 2 laps to go to bring it home for another victory in the MaX5 Season 8. Homesick Alien be probably happy with this second. He's not had a good run of results this season, which has been quite the bizarre one, but it could be because he disappeared onto another game, the traitor. He found his feet in Assetto Corsa. He's quite happy there. So maybe he's just not happy with GT7 anymore. I can completely understand. It's not for everybody, is it, really? Pat as well, still going well in third. I think he has managed to... Oh, he wants to go the long way around. Wanted to go the long way around, but that's for drifting, sir. And... there we go. That's how you drift. Good lad. Go on, lad. Get that back end round. Bazza as well in fourth. Still got the fastest lap. In fact, we'll go to cut to Big Dan. Let's see how he's getting on. I can imagine... oh, it is the final lap. I thought they would have had one more. Oh, it was 2 minutes. No, yeah. Failing already. Oh, you can tell I'm super rusty at this, but it has been a while. And I've been ridiculously busy. Got a feeling I've got absolute hell to come back to when I go back to work. But, speaking of work, Big Dan makes no work of it whatsoever as he comes home for the victory. He doesn't get the fastest lap, though. Homesick Alien coming home in second. He steals the fastest lap on the dead, so Big Dan will not have the clean sheet. Pat comes home for third. He's going to be really, really happy with that one. I think it might be his first podium. I do not know. But Bazza comes home to take fourth. It may be fourth, but it's a good chunk of points regardless. I won't go through everybody because it's not like it's very difficult to go through, is it really? And we probably want to get this wrapped up, so yes, Big Dan first, Homesick Alien in second, with Pat rounding off the podium in third. Now you get to see all this bit again. This is the main reason why I did the whole recording shtick. Because... no. I hate to do this, but that's the one we want. There we go. Right. Shut your eyes. Shut it. Don't you peek. Don't you dare. Close your eyes. I'll tell you. Don't worry. I'll tell you. And there we go. You can look now. You can look. You can look. So, as we know, this is the feature. This is going to be the final race for the MaX5 Season 8. And we are going to have a rolling start with the reverse result of race 1. So Bazza will lead us off. Pat holding off in second. That's going to be a great scrap between those. Homesick Alien in third with Big Dan in fourth. And away we go. Bazza leads us off to the big left-hander, and I've got to clear the lug. There we go. Getting the rust off of it already. Liquidize. First hydrate. But we do not educate. That's not in this channel. Pat having a look on the inside, but he just couldn't find a way through. Here comes Homesick Alien, and here comes Big Dan. Big Dan, oh, I thought he got an absolute rocket launch out of that corner, but he wasn't able to capitalise on it, and now Homesick Alien is running away, creating a bit of a distance between himself and Big Dan. Pat still homing in Bazza in first, who's still holding off well, and look, we are in the dry. So let's have a look at the tyres. Bazza's in hard, Pat's on hard, Homesick Alien is hard, and Big Dan is hard. So they've all gone in the same direction. Nobody putting on the brave pants and going for the mediums straight away. It's all the hards all the way. So now that they've got the mandatory tyre out the way, is it going to be a no stopper for anybody, or is somebody going to put on the brave pants, put on some mediums and go for some absolute wonder nuts lap? I guess it's going to be... ooh, I thought I heard... I was going to say, I thought I heard something there, and it's Pat. He's obviously decided to inspect that barrier there. Thought, no, it needed a little bit of adjustment, and he decided to do it with his nose. But here we go, Homesick Alien and Big Dan. We saw this fight in the sprint, and now we're going to see it in the feature as Homesick Alien goes wide. Big Dan going on to the inside, but he's not able to get the exit that he needed. Homesick Alien managing to hold him off so far, but how long is he going to be able to hold him off? I have a gut feeling it's not going to be for long, because Homesick Alien has really been struggling with that MaX5, but all that fighting is letting Bazza run away with it. Is he going to be the thorn in these two sides to take his first win. I don't think he's had a win this season as well. See how handy a table would be if I had it right in front of me, if something was working. We do not know. We may never know. I sincerely doubt it. But Homesick Alien still holding off the Big Dan. I think this is the overall championship all sewn up for him. He's probably going to be out there for the lols and giggles. Can't say the first word, I get told off. Oh, it looks like Big Dan got the better corner through there, and he's sniffing, absolutely sniffing the rear trumpet of Homesick Alien. I'm pretty sure Homesick Alien's going, bloody hell, if you're going to be like this, mate, you could have taken me out to dinner first. But Big Dan has managed to, he's just backed off a little bit. Maybe not feeling comfortable going through this quadruple right-hander. You've got to get it right, otherwise it's just Pain City all the way through, and it looks like they've managed to hold it off well, but it looks like Big Dan managed to get it through just that little bit better than Homesick Alien. Is now within the toe. Homesick Alien having a look just to see where the big boy is, but he's not able to have a look on the inside. Big Dan just holding off another attack just for now, but you know he's going to get an absolute launch as we come down to that long first-hander, and Bazza's still going well in first. He's even got the fastest lap. But no, it doesn't look like Big Dan was able to get past Homesick Alien. In fact, I don't know why Big Dan's got his lights on. Certainly he's got his lights on, but am I the only one seeing that? Looks like Big Dan's got his side lights on, but he's the only one that has. Is anybody else? I don't think... Yeah. Oh no, Bazza has as well. I think. That's weird. Yeah, he has. That's weird. That's very weird. I'm sure... No, so two have got their side lights on, the other two don't. That's weird. What's all that about, I wonder? The little details in GT7 for you. I wonder if they are going to turn on their lights at some point, because it is starting to get a little bit dark. Where's Homesick Alien gone? Has he gone too wide? I think he's gone too wide, but Big Dan might have pushed it a little bit too hard as he's gone round the outside. Good Lord, I'm chatting about nonsense about lights, and we see those two. Big Dan tucking into the back of Homesick Alien. Is he going to have another chomp at him coming through the double left-hander? No, he backs off a little bit. Gives himself a little bit of room, but he's going to get an absolute slingshot down this main straight as he tucks into the slipstream of Homesick Alien. Are we going to see something as we come up to the first corner? We see he's gaining a little, gaining a little, gaining a little, gaining a little. It's not enough though. Having a look round the outside. It's a brave move going round the outside of that corner, but no, he's not able to find a way through. So Big Dan will have to come back for round 4 to try and get the Homesick Alien. Pat's still going well in 4th at the moment. It's going to be looking good for him. And what about Bazza? Showing them all it can be done. You just have to hope and pray that he doesn't make a meal of it. He could get a really good win here. I don't think he's had a win either. Oh, look at these two. They're still going at it. Big Dan absolutely looking left and right to try and find a way through Homesick Alien, but it's now him that's adopted the defense of the Wall of China, and Big Dan can't find a way through. You see Big Dan, he's absolutely throwing that car all over the place. They both are. They're both throwing it as hard as we can. That's Homesick Alien going wide. Is Big Dan going to be able to take advantage? He's on the inside, and yes, he can. He certainly can, but is Homesick Alien going to be able to capitalise coming down the main straight? We have seen that down the main straight, it's a very, very long straight, and they're not able to take a full glimpse of it. As you see, Big Dan going Round the outside, Big Dan's Homesick Alien sticking to an inside, more of an inside line. And they seem to have evened it off. It's a very, very weird corner. There's two different ways to take it, both displaying both directions of doing it. And it's not proved much of a difference between the two of them. What can we do? Pat's still going as well. Bazza pulling out the fastest lap once again. He's found the wonder juice. This man is absolutely on fire. I suppose it doesn't help with these two scrapping with one another, but now that Big Dan has been released, is he going to be able to pull away from Homesick Alien to try and catch the Bazza and get the double victory? Big Dan has certainly got the pace. He's found the pace in that MaX5. Big Dan has absolutely come alive in this championship. I honestly didn't think he would end up being the overall winner. I'm not going to lie, I did not think, I didn't even consider it. But it looks like he's going to come away as the overall champion. I don't know who's leading. I think it was Guesty that was leading the pros. I can't remember the amateurs, if I'm completely honest with you, but I will be able to tell you at the end, because I do know who does get crowned. So we will soon see. Homesick Alien has found a little bit more pace. He's now on the back end of Big Dan. The roles of reverse are now. It's Big Dan that's the one that's going to take Homesick Alien out for dinner. Get himself a nice steak, why not? He's looking on the inside, he just can't find a way through, but is he going to be able to capitalise as we come up to the tricky double chicane? I think no, it isn't. It's a weird bus stop that. Ooh, Homesick Alien caught the sausage, and that's upset the Mazda. And that's Big Dan, a huge sigh of relief for one tiny mistake from Homesick Alien, upsetting the Mazda. And now Big Dan can be released, but we saw that they had this kind of gap before, and Homesick Alien was able to catch him down. He's going all out. In fact, we're going to have a look at this, to be fair. So Bazza's going full pelt. Is Big Dan pushing? I think he might be. Well, oh, I don't know. I think he's keeping the revs low, so let's have a look at the fuel. No, he's used a fair bit of fuel. Bazza's used a lot of fuel. That'll explain why the others aren't catching him. He's nearly down to half. Big Dan is on just under 3/4. Alien's just under 3/4, and Pat's in the middle of the other three. So Homesick Alien and Big Dan both fuel saving, so they could be going the distance. But just under 20 minutes left, so if they can make their tanks last just another 4 minutes, we'll know that they're doing a non-stopper. Basil will have to pit at some point, because he's nearly halfway. So he's gonna put on the Brave Boy pants. He's gonna go on to mediums at one point. He's gonna be absolutely flying, without a doubt. At this rate, it looks like Big Dan isn't going to stop. Mind you, he's put the pace down a little bit. He's going purple. I don't think Homesick Alien will be. He'll be looking after that fuel tank. He's probably not. He's probably going to do a non-stopper. That would be my bet. Hasn't got much else to lose, really. It's all playing the waiting game now. Pat as well. Let's see how he's coming up to just. He's just over half a tank, so he could be. He's another one that's definitely for the pits. Mind you, there's still another 3 minutes. He might be able to save that tiny little bit. for another 3 minutes? We do not know. We'll all just have to wait and see. But Bazza so far has got a very comfortable lead. He's not fuel saving. So it's going to be a question of, is he going to find the pace when he's on the mediums to catch the two ahead of him? And perhaps maybe keep ahead of Pat as well. Mind you, we're sure that Pat is going to be pitting. He's not going to be in for as long though, because he has more fuel than Bazza. So Bazza's going to be in his box a lot longer than Pat, and every second is going to count here. Big Dan as well. He hasn't. Yep, he's. Homesick Alien has saved just that little bit more fuel. So if they are going for a non-stopper, oh, there we go. Pat has pulled in, so he's pulled the trigger early. He has pulled the trigger early, to be fair. We're not even halfway yet. So, what is Bazza's response going to be? In all fairness, though, to be fair, Pat hasn't really got much to lose. I imagine he's going on to the mediums. We will soon find out. No, he hasn't. He's gone. No, there we go. On to the softs. Wow. Pat is really, really going to brave on this one. He's going on for the softs. I didn't think you could use the softs in the feature race. I thought it was... Oh. I do not know. It's been a while since I've had to look at the MX5 rules. John, I've just realised I could have watched one of the previous streams to learn it before doing this. Preparation. Thy name is Idiot. Bazza once again getting another fastest lap. He is absolutely going hell for leather. Big Dan as well. Yeah, he's definitely trying to save as much fuel as he can. Homesick Alien has the advantage in that department. He just has a little bit more fuel. But what's it going to be at the end of the race? That is the more important thing. Is who's going to come out on top of the pair of them, I wonder. So far, it would appear that it could be anybody's game. Oh, Homesick Alien, have a look on the inside, struggling for control, but he's managed to keep it pointing in the right direction, and there might have been a little bit of a collision between them, but it wasn't enough to put off Big Dan. And as you can see, Big Dan as well, he's really, really having to ring that MX5 as hard as he can. He's got a little bit of a gap between himself now and Homesick Alien. So, he's got wide a little bit. You can see he's pushing that MX5 as hard as he dare. But he's also trying to save fuel as well, and that's another thing that'll be on his mind. Homesick Alien will be absolutely loving sticking behind him, staying in his toe. He won't be using as much fuel. So to be fair, it's not really... It's all down. It's all in Homesick Alien's hands. They're not coming in. They're in the 16-minute mark, so... oh. So far, it could be any one of these two. Bazza now, just coming up to a quarter of a tank. We're up 16 minutes. So we saw Pat earlier. He's pulled the trigger. He's gone on to softs. Is that going to be a oh? Easy, Pat. Easy does it. There we go. Just pushing in a little bit too hard. A little bit too hard, lad. Bring it down a little bit. You should be fine. But it looks like that Bazza is going for the overcut on Pat. He did have a good gap between himself and Pat, so you'd think that Bazza would get out in front of Pat. It's just a question if Pat has managed to find the pace with those softs on. Well, Baz has been on the hards. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do this for start. Pat doing a 150. That's not going to be doing him many favours. He has been doing... Well, 147 is his quickest. So far, Bazza has got the pace, even with the hards and the lighter car. We'll definitely get a good guess on this one as he crosses the line. It's a 145.2. So we'll keep an eye on Pat as he comes to the end of his lap. We'll see how he's doing. But let's check with these two. Wait, this wasn't that way round, was it? No, it was Homesick Alien has managed to get past Big Dan and has actually got a massive gap between them. So I wonder, Big Dan must have made a mistake because he did a 147.2 that previous lap, with Homesick Alien doing the fastest of his laps with a 144.7. So Big Dan must have made a mistake somewhere, and now he's got the one to play the catch up. He's got less fuel than Homesick Alien. In fact, Homesick Alien's actually found an enormous amount of pace now. He's going purple. So, Homesick Alien pulling the trigger. Is this going to force Big Dan to call a strategy early? I imagine they're going to go on to the softs, because we saw Pat go on to the softs. Be an interesting one, wouldn't it? To go on to the softs. If they do go on to the softs, I imagine they do. So I can't remember what it was. Is it? Well, they used the wet, so I think they still had to use the hards. But I think, is it the case of? Oh no, I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time since I've done any of this. It's all been deleted. So, trying my best to work it all out now. So, Homesick Indian doing a 145.2. Big Dan, a 144.5. He has responded. He has absolutely responded now. He's used a lot more fuel than Homesick Alien, so Big Dan now feeling the pressure from Homesick Alien, but they don't really have a great deal to lose. I think this is all just for pride now. He wants to have the double victory, but Homesick Alien proving again that he is the master class, and that young Padawan much to learn he does. Alien really struggling with that MX5. He's lost the back end. Is Big Dan going to be able to punish him for it? Oh, he just got in the nick of time. But that has pretty much been Homesick's season, really. He's really been fighting that MX5, making it dance when it really doesn't need to. And I think Homesick Alien, oh, we can see he's going wide. He's pushing it far too hard. Is Big Dan going to find his way through? No, he cannot. He can't find a way through. So, Homesick Alien now feeling the pressure. What's Bazza doing? He's still going on. He still goes on. Surely he's not going to have enough fuel. We've still got a good 8 minutes to go. That's never going to be enough fuel to get all the way. These two aren't pitting either. But I think they're aiming for the non-stopper. They've got enough fuel. I think the hards are going to last long enough to see them all the way to the end. So is Homesick Alien going to make Big Dan fight hard for this victory? You'd think he would. Oh, he's caught the inside curb. It's upset the Mazda, but not enough for Big Dan to take advantage of it. Going too wide through there. That's a brave move. Oh, Homesick Alien losing the back end, but he has yielded. He has conceded the place. In all fairness, that's what we love to see. Now, it has all been reset. Big Dan now taking second, but he is going wide. Is he giving Homesick Alien the position back, I wonder? It could be. It could be. How gentlemanly of the pair of them. Homesick Alien feeling that he interrupted Big Dan. Big Dan probably feeling that it wasn't necessary. Let him through again. So it's a full reset between these two, and look at the scrap these two are absolutely having. It is juicy to say, and very juicy it is. What a way to make an end to MaX5 Season 8 with these two going at it. There we go. Bazza has finally gone into the pits. His fuel is flashing, so he was right down to near the bottom of the tank. I have a good feeling he's managed to pull out a big enough gap between himself and Pat that he won't lose third place at least. We knew these two were going to take the lead of this race because they are not pitting whatsoever. Bazza has gone on to the softs. So big Bazza going for some absolute flying laps, but the question on my mind is, has he left it too late? And is it going to be a huge thorn in the side of these two? Because the gap isn't all... It's not a massive gap. You can see him on the map on the top right. You can see them pretty clearly. He has got the tyre advantage. These two, Big Dan and Homesick Alien, they are on the worn hards, and they have to save the fuel to get to the end. So these two aren't pushing the car as hard as they can. Bazza will be pushing like an absolute lunatic and a half, and he's going to be coming through like the Belgian bullet that he is. But is it going to have enough time? He's got 5.5 minutes left to try and catch these two. He has been going quite well, has Bazza, in the 46s. These guys are in the 40, well, quite a range really. So it's all going to be down to whether Bazza has got the pace in those softs to try and catch these two in front of him. Are these two going to spoil the Bazza party? Homesick Alien a 1:44.2, setting the fastest lap. But we have I've got a gut feeling that he's not going to stand for much longer because of that man. As you can see, he has managed to get out in front of Pat. I don't think that was going to be an issue in the first place. And he has got these two in his sights. So providing, well, to be fair, I think Bazza can absolutely merit, and he'd still be out in third because there's a considerable gap between himself and Pat, who is coming up to start his 15th lap, and these two are already on it. 3, should I say. So it looks like we're going to have some fireworks at the end, courtesy of Belgium. But is he going to have enough to try and catch them? Is it going to be enough, I wonder? I don't think these two are really going to put up that much of a fight, because they haven't really got much to fight with. I mean, I imagine they have enough fuel to get to the end. They're near enough even on fuel. With Homesick Alien having just a little bit more. What's Bazza like? Bazza is lighter than the pair of them, so he's lighter, got the better tyres. So it could be. As you can see, he has caught up Big Dan. The gap wasn't that small before. 1:44.3 from Homesick, a 1:45.0 from Big Dan, and is that a 1:42? It is. It's the fastest lap as well. So Bazza going out a bullet out of hell, but he's only got 3 minutes. I imagine there's going to be 2 more laps. It's this lap and the one after this. So Baz is going to have to find some magic juice to put in if he's going to catch him. I think Jose Alien just might have a comfortable distance. So it looks like Jose Alien is going to go out with a bang, providing the MX5 decides it wants to play havoc with him again. But Big Dan holding on to second. It's not guaranteed though, because Bazza is approaching fast. He's definitely going to get a podium out of it, regardless. Be nice to know if he did have a podium this season or not. I've got to wonder where the tyres are going to... I think the tyres will last long enough, because they're going to come up to their last lap. 2 minutes left. And it looks like... Oh, hang on a second. Baz has fallen back, so he must have lost the back end a little bit. So Big Dan can really breathe a sigh of relief once more. So Baz are obviously pushing way too hard, but I can completely understand why. So we may not get the fireworks finish that we thought we were going to get. And it looks like it may just end up finishing in this order, barring any squeaky bum times. And I think this will do Homesick Alien's confidence some justice, because he's been fighting that MX5 all season. Results really haven't gone his way, by surprise even for me, to be fair. I thought Homesick Alien would be absolutely scrapping it out at the front, but he's just been struggling all season. He's not had the results you'd expect from Homesick Alien. That's just how much this MX5 has been a pain for him. So this is going to be absolutely wonderful for Homesick Alien. Big Dan as well, his fuel tank is flashing, but we are on the last 30 seconds, so I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think they're going to get another lap in. Could be pretty close though, to be fair. But I think this is going to be their final lap. We've got a yellow flag. That's only one person I can think of. It's Pat. He's come with the barrier. He's had a coming together with him. Pat's slowing down. Oh yeah, I see what he's doing. Yeah. He's waiting for the finish, as Pat finishes in third. Homesick Alien, the redemption arc wasn't enough, but he'll be happy with this victory. Homesick Alien takes the win. Big Dan holds off to come home in second. And Baz, a cracking effort, but it wasn't on the cards. We're going to leave him just like that. But as I was saying, Bazza, the comeback was not on the cards, but by hell did he try. He most certainly tried. But it's Homesick Alien who does take the win in the end. In fact, you know what? I wonder... Bear with me a second. I wonder if it's buried somewhere in my phone. I think it might be buried in my phone. I'm just going to have a nosy. I am going to be so annoyed if it's been in my phone this whole time. But I don't think it is. Nope. It's not that one. I've got so much crap on my phone. It's unbelievable. Nope, it's not that one. No, nope, no. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But it might be in another place. It might be in another place, I wonder. Wait, who? I think it might be Homesick Alien, actually. Because I'm sure I did the tables for it. I don't know why I'm saying that. I did do that. Oh wait, was it? No. Nope. I do, but it's only up to a certain amount. But one thing I'm going to do, where are you? Bazza, he has had a podium this season. Bazza has had a podium. So there we go. What about Pat? Pat has had a podium as well. So all four of them have had a podium this season already. So there we go. That's as far as I know. I don't know. Who else did I give it to? I must have loaded them up myself because I can't see it with anybody else, which is slightly annoying. Yeah, never mind. But should we crown some people? Because I think this is one that this is the part you're all waiting for. I'm actually just trying to load it on my phone because I'm not 100% sure. This is the pain in the arse bit. There we go. There we go. So we do have the results. And this is a bit of a weird one. But the pro champion, Big Dan. I don't know either. But Big Dan has been crowned the pro champion. So Big Dan takes his first ever championship. How about that? Who saw that one coming? Certainly not me. But Big Dan has been the absolute masterclass of the MX5. Midway through the season, he just came alive and was just not stoppable regardless of the conditions. He's not in here tonight, but the pro amateurs was Guesty. Again, I'm not sure on that one, to be brutally honest. Maybe they got demoted, I don't know. Because Big Dan did come out as the overall champion, so maybe the pair got demoted just because of it. I don't know. I generally don't know. But yes, Guesty wins the Pro Amateur Championship. And the amateurs. The amateurs, the MaX5 Season 8 Amateur Champion, Pat. Pat took the championship at the dead of the end. It turns out getting fourth was literally enough for him to take. In fact, he's actually had 2 podiums according to this. Well, there you go. Pat has got the amateur championship, and I'm pretty sure he has, or he did, celebrate in wonderful fashion, and he's going to be one happy bunny. So there we go. Let's get rid of that and clear that. And there we go. MaX5. And what a way. Oh, wait, I can do it like this, can't I? And yeah, a stunning way to. There we go. The sun has set in the back to say goodbye to the MX5s, and we also say goodbye to them till we meet again, good sir. I dip thy hat if I had one on. But there we go. And let's do it the proper way. We've got to do it the proper way. Pat gets that, and then over to Big Dan, our MaX5 Season 8 champion, taking his first ever championship. So I think a huge round of applause goes to the Big Dan. What a way to do it. What a way to do it in style. And apparently I got the classifications all wrong. But there we go. What do I know? This is why I'm the gullible idiot in training. But there we are. We certainly hope that you enjoyed this one. I know it's been a long time coming, and hopefully I will be able to find more time. I'll have to do this all like this again since the laptop has gone kaputt. So hopefully I'll be able to find some time. I'm going to argue with my bosses and tell them so, and I'll be able to bring you more races. But we hope we hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. That's when I know that I'm doing a good or crappy job. And if you enjoyed us here at the Virtual Racers Club, don't forget to subscribe so you'll get to see more of it when I get to bring it to you. Or perhaps you may want to be a part of this little group of ours. Come out, come racing, come meet the big boys of the group, the Homesick Alien, who's no longer here, Big Dan, he's in there as well. There's Bazza in the back as well. Somewhere there's Pat. Pat's around here somewhere, and there's a lot more of us as well. If you want to get involved, go to Discord, search for the Virtual Racers Club. It will be in this description. Oh, wait, no, it won't be. If you click on the previous races, it's in the description there. If not, just search the Virtual Racers Club on Discord. It will invite you. Click invite, and we will see you there. So that is the end of the Mazdas. Goodbye, little pretties. Until we meet again. I've been your broadcaster and commentator. Insert comical name here. We hope to see you soon. I don't know what I'm going to bring, so you'll just have to bear with me. Until then, good evening and good night. Ciao.